welcome. My name is Petra and I'm here today in Stonington, Connecticut with my lovely daughter Natasha. And today we're not today we're knitting. We're always knitting. But today we are bringing you episode 14.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, we just keep doing it, I guess.
Yeah, it's really so much fun. So thank you to all our new viewers and thank you to our OG viewers. We're so happy that you're enjoying watching our yarny traveling journey.
Yeah, so Knit Ink, in case you're new, it's INK because I also share some hand lettering. So this is us on Instagram if you'd like to give us a follow. So yeah, we are actually recording this episode a little quickly after episode 13 because we're going to have some scheduling conflicts coming up. We wanted to make sure that we had, 2 episodes in a month released. And since episode 13 was filmed long after episode 12, we have a lot of knitting content to share. So lots to talk about still. We will do our traditional FOs, some whips. You're excited to talk about some vintage projects that have come our way.
Yeah.
And then we'll also share the giveaway at the end. So,
and there's going to be some dream knitting. I'm officially out of the Sock Madness competition,
which is a good thing. It's all good.
I'm a little bit sad. I actually made it one additional round last year. I made it to the 3rd round last year. This year I got knocked out round 2, but
do you think that the socks were more challenging this year?
Yeah, I think the beading and a pretty complicated pattern that you had to keep paying attention to the chart. I never really was able to get into the rhythm of either one of the pairs of socks. Last year they were pretty challenging too, but I think I had more headspace last year, and maybe I had less other things going on.
Well, I think we were in the thick of pretty strict quarantine in March and April last year. So, I wasn't coming down then to see you, and it was a lot stricter. Of staying at home, and we are safely able to do other activities outside of the home now, and with more and more people getting vaccinated, we can feel a little bit more comfortable seeing people outside. So that's probably has to do with it as well, right?
That's a factor, yes. So and actually I do feel like a little weight's been lifted off, and so that's why I've got some dream knitting because I'm thinking about my next project.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So shall we start with what are you wearing today, Natasha?
Okay, so this is the Wellwater Hoodie. Wellwater Hoodie, and it is by Suviknits.
Another pattern by Suviknits.
I know, and I didn't do that on purpose.
No.
I didn't even realize when you were talking about Suviknits in the last episode with your Winterly, or the last few episodes with your Winterly, that I had also done a Suviknits pattern. So I actually cast this on in May 2016, and it sat for a while. I didn't finish it until March 2019. And it is with Juniper Moon Farm Findley DK.
Oh, yeah, and it's
really soft and lovely, and it's got a hood. It is a hoodie, so it's got this.
Look at you,
big hood. And you can see there's some reverse stockinette and stockinette, and an I-cord edging. And these are buttons made by my grandfather, your father. So they're really special. It's like a gray blue. I think the color's coming off pretty well. Yeah. It was a lot of knitting. Let's see, I used 5.5 skeins.
And are they, no, they're 50 gram skeins. Yeah, they are.
Well, it says it was 550 grams total.
Oh gosh.
I mean, it's a lot of knitting. Look how big this hood is.
Oh, and it's quite long.
And it's pretty long. And there actually is some nice waist shaping. It comes in. Yes. I think you can see. And you know what?
At the back is very nice too.
See.
Yeah. You know what? I really do love Suviknits designs. I've made 2 of her sweaters, and she always puts some interesting details in her sweaters, but there's not too much, and her patterns are really well written.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Suviknits.
I think this was a bit of a challenge for me when I first cast it on in 2016. It's probably one of my within the first 5 sweaters for sure, or cardigans. So I remember really being challenged to do this whole sleeve area. And it's obviously a lot of knitting too, 5.5 skeins. So I remember putting it down for a while and then coming back and flying through the rest. This picture, I think, does a good job of showing the waist shaping.
Oh yeah.
So it actually is, it was a fun knit. So yeah, I haven't worn this on YouTube yet, so it's actually perfect for this time of year. I probably could have worn not a stripy, distracting t-shirt underneath. But I usually, when I wear this, I always have it buttoned. I think because it kind of, the buttons, it just doesn't work as well when it's open. So it is a cardigan, but I always wear it buttoned when I wear it.
Very nice.
So that's what I'm wearing.
Nice.
Let me just take a quick thing. Let's see.
Modifications or?
Oh, one thing. So it actually does have elbow patches. And I have the elbow patches. I just haven't put them on.
So they're knitted elbow patches.
Yeah. I should do that. Here's a photo from the pattern where you can see, you're seeing the reflection of what we're looking at outside, but here's the, there's the elbow patch. So maybe I'll do that. I know I have them stacked up with my swatches in a drawer. I'm holding on to all my swatches.
Oh yeah, I hold on to mine as well.
I'm thinking like they could be a fun little patchwork thing one day. So
I think they could be. One of my sort of long-term projects in the making is old sweaters that I've either made or that I've bought that are wool, that we no longer wear. Actually, my mom did this. She, what's the word? Separated the panels and we felted them. And the idea is that we're going to make a patchwork rug with all the feltings. So I'm thinking the swatches could go into that.
Yeah,
we could make
if they're wool, they could just be
wool
felted and added. Yeah, for sure.
So that's a project that's just sitting for
retirement.
Exactly.
A retirement project.
A retirement project, yeah. But I save my swatches. Or unless I need the yarn, then I swatch and I don't cut and I unravel the swatch and I just use the yarn. Yeah. That's actually what I do most of the time. Yeah.
So yeah, I should add in those elbow patches. But that is my well water hoodie.
Nice.
So what are you wearing?
So I am wearing the Gola, also a grey sweater, and
it's Gola.
Which is funny, similar story, and it is a coincidence that we chose these sweaters. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Who's this by?
It's by Nelkin, and she's, I think she's more, not if famous is the right word, or known for doing a lot of beading. She designs beading, beading and knitting jewelry, bracelets and necklaces. So yeah, this is a Nelkin pattern, and this also rested for a while. I started this in March 2017, sorry, and I finished it in February of 2019. So I started it rested, and then I went to finish it. So I do want to talk, so it's a very, very interesting construction. You start with one sleeve and you knit, and then you cast on a bunch of stitches, knit this way, cast off for the neck opening, and then rejoin and knit here.
So I think, yeah, you can see the stockinette is this way.
Yeah, so it's not this way. So what's nice is if you're using variegated yarn or stripy yarn, the stripes will go this way. So I prefer that. I don't really like wearing horizontal stripes too much. Would they be, is it hard? Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then you join it under here. Actually, when you knit this panel, you knit this panel at the end, and you're joining. So you're joining from both sides.
Oh, interesting.
And I'm gonna stand up because it's an asymmetric hem finishing, and you can just see the details. And then on the back, and it's DK weight yarn, and then the striping kind of gives you an opportunity to just use up some leftover yarns that you might have a little bit, only a little bit left. And so let me just tell you about the yarn. So this is a DK, this was a souvenir skein that I bought in North Carolina when I was visiting my friend Sandy. And she took me to as many of her local yarn stores as she could, which was really sweet.
So this would be a good project if you have a special single skein of something. You don't have the full, you don't have enough for a full sweater.
Exactly.
But you could add in. Yeah, that's fun.
And if you're interested in the sweater Gola, and you look on Ravelry at other sweaters that people have made, they've been really creative with the striping. I'd actually really like to make another one and make it slightly bigger. This is kind of a snug fit on me. I think since I started it in 2017, I may have put on a few pandemic pounds. Okay. So then the black is this Simplicity by Haiku, which is a DK merino acrylic nylon, and I got a few skeins of these in a yarn swap that we did a few years ago at my Driftwood's local yarn store. So I used a little bit of that in here. So this is the main wool that I used, and I have this much left over.
Wow.
I bought 2 really big skeins at the New England Fiber Festival, and it's from a farm, the Wool Room at Longmeadow Farm, and this is Blue-Faced Leicester DK. And so, as I said, I bought 2 big skeins, and when I got them home and I was about to unwind them, I'm just looking to see how big the skeins were. Okay, so each one was 250 grams.
Wow.
I got them home to unwind, and there was a big patch of undyed yarn where they had been tied together.
Oh.
And I was so disappointed. So I sent an email to the lady from the farm, and she was very apologetic, and she said, send them back to me and I will over dye them.
Oh.
And she offered to give me some discount, but I said, no, that's okay, I understand. And so she sent me this little skein.
Oh, this is so pretty.
I know, to make up for that.
Aww.
And there's a little note.
Aww.
Yeah.
Hand-dyed wool and cashmere nylon blend. Approximately 275 yards. This is nice.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like a robin's egg.
Oh yeah, it does. So
it's really soft.
So yes, so that's the Longmeadow, and so I'm not sure. So I've got quite a bit left over. Have to figure out how to use this. Maybe this is another sweater in the making, actually. Yeah. Now that I'm holding these up, the Ravello or something like that. And then this kind of fun color was indie dyed Three Waters Farm, another farm yarn.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of my favorite sweaters. And before we talk about other knittery projects, I just want to say a really big thank you for all the comments that you've been sending our way. We read them all. I try to reply to some of the questions that you have. I hope that you're getting the replies. I'm sort of a newbie at this YouTube commenting, because we've just only really recently started to get a lot of comments, but we really love them. We love the engagement. So please keep them coming, and eventually I hope that we will answer all your questions. And maybe in a little while we'll even have a Q&A.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
So I do have one more FO.
So do I.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. You what's your other FO then, Natasha?
So this is my outline tank.
Actually, our first FOs, because these are old FOs.
These are old FOs.
Yeah,
I have a recent FO.
Let's talk about recent FOs.
So this is my outline tank, and this is by Jessie Maed Designs.
Oh, this pattern just came out, didn't it?
Yeah, I think I mentioned wanting to knit this in one episode.
Oh, you did? Yeah, it was about to come out. Oh my gosh, this is so cute.
See the drape? It's
like,
woo! Okay, so this was a super quick knit, and you set up to have a drop stitch. It's bottom up in the round, and then when you go to do a 3 needle bind off for the straps, you drop the stitches, and it's so fun to do that.
Oh, to drop them. Yeah. I made a wrap a few years ago with drop stitches, and oh my gosh, I love dropping the stitches.
When it's on purpose, it's great.
Yeah, when it's on purpose, but it makes it. It's a really sort of a quick way of having a lacy look, isn't it?
Yeah, totally, and yeah, easy to do. So a couple things. So
Wow. I love the feel of this.
Yeah, so this yarn, I actually got on the third piece on sale before they moved. So it's also Juniper Moon, like the sweater I'm wearing now, but it's
another farm yarn, Juniper Moon Farms.
Yeah, it's Pollock. It's a blend of silk and linen. So these are 100 gram
balls.
Yeah, so I use 1.25 skeins for this tank top. So I knit the second size, and it was actually a little too big. I'm okay with the width, but the straps were really long, and like the V was like down here. So I ended up unpicking my 3 needle bind off, ripping back some of the strap length and then rejoining, and now it's fine. I had to be careful that it would still fit the armhole. So it's still a little big, but I will hopefully get a finished object photo of me wearing it that I can insert here after recording to show how it looks. I think I would do another one. Actually, I would definitely do another one. Maybe and just do the smaller size. Yeah. I actually did, so I think it's with 3 or 4 needles is what she recommends. And I actually ended up, I did the, what's it called when it's the reverse ribbing? Twisted rib. Twisted rib in size 3, and then I probably did like 2 inches with size 4 and was like, ooh, I think this is gonna be a little big. So then I switched to size 3. So the majority of it was actually knit in size 3 needles. So I think if
size 3 US needles.
Yeah, I think if I did this first size in size 3, I'd be, you know, I guess with this yarn I would have been. But the look is supposed to be like a little loose and drapey. I didn't want it skin tight or anything, but I didn't want it to have like massive armholes or gaps, be like so that you would so I think you know, this would be fun to like, I could wear this like over my bathing suit to the beach. I could also wear it with like some I feel like it would be nice with like white pants even. So I will do a styled pic and insert it.
You'll do a Christy Gloss styling?
Oh, I don't know if I'll go that far.
It might be nice with just a tight-fitting black tank top underneath.
I could do that too, yeah.
Black pants. And so is that yarn a fingering weight or sport weight?
So the pattern is for fingering, and I remember being, I think technically this is, and this is probably user error of why it's so big.
That's where I'm going with my question.
Technically this is DK.
So that explains maybe
why it's too big.
Yeah.
No, I didn't swatch.
Did you check your gauge?
No.
Oh my gosh.
I know. I was like, it's a tank top, it's fine. So it's totally user error why it's too big.
That explains it, I think. Yeah.
But I knew I wanted it to be roomy, but I just didn't want it to have like massive things. So I did have to adjust, and I think it's gonna work out. But I would knit another one a little bit more
more to gauge, maybe.
More to gauge, yeah.
But yeah.
So that project, let me see, I think it took me less than 3 weeks. It took me less than 2 weeks to actually do that project, so.
Were you pretty monogamous?
Probably, yeah.
Nice.
So do you have a more recent FO?
I have only one FO, and this is the FO that Anna's going to talk about.
Oh, yes. So we'll go get Anna.
We'll go get her. We'll be right back. Welcome, Anna, to Knit Inc.
Thanks for having me.
Tell us what you're wearing.
So this is a sweater that my mom surprised me with on my birthday. It's not completed, but there's definitely been a lot of progress since my birthday. And remind me, I know there's an Ice Queen element to it, but tell me more.
So the name is Snedrongen in, it must be Finnish, and it's from the Tales Ice Queen. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the author now.
I'll insert below.
Okay. Yeah. But what I'm excited about, you can see the sleeves, and this is something that my mom told me is like a little stars.
Oh, actually fleas. They're called fleas.
I know that sounds terrible, but
I know.
I think there's many different names for them, to be honest.
Yeah,
but we actually talked about this in the last episode of what we were going to do, because my mom was running out of the brighter purple mohair. So she ran out of it. So we were discussing how to finish it off. So
yeah. So I'll just, the cone is no more.
But it's now a cake.
It's now a cake. And then when I wound off the remaining yarn on the cone, I was shocked that there was still almost 100 grams left. I think that 500 gram comb must have been more than 500 grams. So now I'm just knitting, holding double, and I'm on the bottom hem now. I unraveled all the garter from the last time we talked about this, and I hope to make a pretty good dent because I'm ready to use up most of this yarn. And then Anna's gonna have a new sweater.
Just in time for summer.
Just in time for summer. And she's gonna show
I've got more to share.
another finished object.
Well, actually, before I share this with you, you might remember in episode 3, it was, what month was it? Gosh, we were in Newport.
I think it was October.
Yeah, it was October. It was before Halloween, and I was knitting
right.
a doggy sweater for my boyfriend's dog, who I have a pet name for her, Strudel. She's an Affenpinscher, and I wanted to make kind of a jack-o'-lantern sweater for her. And I ended up being in Boston later with Natasha, and she really helped me with this part of the knitting for Strudel's little legs to come out of. But as you can see, you know, we were kind of adjusting a pattern to be smaller for her. And you can see the leg where her legs would go out. It's just so large.
It looks tiny, but let me just preface one thing. I hadn't actually met the little doggy yet, so I didn't realize how tiny she actually was. So when Anna was telling me that these leg holes were going to be way too big, I was completely baffled.
Right.
I was like, how could these be too big for a dog leg?
Right.
Now seeing her and meeting her a few times, I completely understand.
Yeah, she's so tiny. I actually was, I'm fully vaccinated. I was at a friend's place where there was a cat, and I was like, that is a big cat. Because it's all just relative, right? Like I'm so used to being with a really small dog that the cat seems huge, but it was just a normal cat. But anyways, the leg holes are too big. And I also forgot it in Boston, but it's not finished, and it's my big dream to finish a doggy sweater. So one day we'll be sharing with you my completed dog sweater. I'll be very pleased with myself.
And we'll be very pleased too.
Oh, thank you.
We'll be super thrilled.
But what I do want you to notice is just how lovely the yarn colors are, and I really liked how the orange kind of bleeds into the green. And I thought like, oh, this is gonna look so cute. So I was excited about that.
It's not that bad to rip back and do these armholes again.
I guess we'll discuss more later.
And I think I found a much better pattern now, the Pearl Soho pattern.
Which is a great...
it's with this Shoppers sheepies stone wash, and it's actually cotton.
So yeah, what my mom is saying, she did find a really great pattern for
Cotton
Strudel.
and acrylic, sorry.
Thank you, cotton and acrylic. And
it's called the Lucky Dog Sweater Pattern by Pearl Soho.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
It's my story time. So this is a completed dog sweater, and it's the second one that my mom's done for Strudel, and it is a great fit. And can you tell me one more time what the pattern is?
Lucky Dog Sweater.
See, that's got great karma. And my boyfriend Kyle is so excited. We FaceTimed him and showed him, and he's like, I love the color. And my mom put her little like emblem here, which says Petra Knit Inc.
Petra Knits Too.
Oh, sorry, Petra Knits Too.
This is pre-knit ink, these labels.
Yeah. Oh, right. And as you can see, like this is more like her little legs.
So she's got little chicken legs. Yeah.
Did you want to share about this yarn?
Yeah. So this is Sublime Baby Cashmere Merino Silk DK. There's a cashmere in here. Nothing but the best for little Strudel, and the colorway is called Cutie Carrot. So it's sort of like a burnt orange, and this is going to be part of her spring wardrobe. So a modification is that this pattern actually has a turtleneck, and the black one I made her has so I omitted the turtleneck because she doesn't need all of that now, because you keep telling us how warm it is in Pennsylvania.
It is, yeah.
Compared to here. And so I just want to go back. Anna caught me off guard about the story about the name of this sweater. It's actually Danish, not Finnish, and it means Ice Queen, and it's Hans Christian Andersen fairy tale. I don't know how I couldn't remember that before.
No worries.
Hans
now
Christian
we know.
Andersen. So yeah.
Great.
And now I guess are the sleeves an okay length now? Yeah, I guess they are an okay length. Oh no, Actually, they're a little bit short, aren't they?
I like it. It is stretched out. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with it.
Okay, that's great. So I just have the hemming to do now.
Great. Yeah. And before I leave, I just wanted to say it's been so exciting to see the growth of followers for Knit Inc. And I've been cheerleading from the background. And, you know, just seeing the subscriptions and the beautiful comments. It's just, it's like, yeah, I just feel part of it. And it's so lovely.
You are part of it. And it's a really great behind the scenes support team, creative, and
Yeah. I was going to see the same friend who had the cat, and my mom was like, just please don't brag about us too much. And I'm like, well, I will if I want to, because it is just so exciting. And
it's fun.
I've been sharing with my friends who don't even knit, and people are just like, yes, Knit Inc.
Thanks, Anna.
It's a lot of, we're getting a lot of wonderful positive energy. It's been really beautiful. Yeah.
And one more thing I want to say is how much I enjoyed watching Knit My Way Home. I actually discovered them. It was just suggested after I watched my sister and mom's video, and it's this beautiful setting in the Yukon, a mother and daughter, and I was just so captivated. I thought they were so sweet and lovely. And then my mom said, look at this comment, and I was like, oh, I know those women. And I was just like, oh my God, the community is coming to life.
So that's Loretta and Natalia. Natalia's a daughter, and they, like Anna said, they're up in the Yukon territory of Canada, up like right next to Alaska. So right up there. So they have been doing, I think they've got 3 episodes up right now, and they film them outside in the snow, which is really fun to see the scenery. And they also love Norwegian, Scandinavian knits and talk about Selbu mittens and, you know,
rustic yarn that we love too.
Modifying patterns to make them fit for Natalia because she's younger, so finding patterns. She's excited to try out some color work, but a lot of patterns, the smallest size is for a small woman. So they talk through some of those adjustments, and it's really fun to get a little glimpse into their world. They share what they're reading and stuff like that too. So it was so funny. Anna found them before we got a comment from Loretta. But we loved watching. The 3 of us watched a couple episodes together. So go check them out. I will put their info below. But another mother-daughter knitting duo.
Yeah, definitely fun.
And Natalia's inspired me because, you know, she's made this beautiful cowl, and I'm like, you know what, I can step it up too.
Yeah, you can.
You can, Anna, yes. Once you've made the doggy sweater, you don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, it'll just keep going.
Yeah.
It'll snowball.
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I think we're on to works in progress, aren't we?
Yeah, whips.
And I only have one.
And I only have one.
Okay, but you have a pretty complicated one. Do you want to talk about yours first?
Sure. So, I don't know, a couple months ago, actually, it's more than a couple months ago, Fruity Knitting, Andrea, she has often talked about Marie Wallin and has knit quite a few of her beautiful patterns, and I've always been in complete awe of how wonderful the pattern is and how well Andrea knits them up. And I think some of you may be familiar that Andrew is fighting brain cancer right now, so we are sending lots of love to them, and we think of him often. So when Marie Wallin released some new kits, I was like, let's knit inspired by Fruity Knitting to kind of try out this wonderful designer and think of them as we knit these sweaters. I should also mention that Marie Wallin, the British breeds wool, is from Devon, which my dad's mother, my grandmother Kathy, she's from England, and her favorite flower was the primrose, and Marie Wallin has a sweater called the Primrose. So I thought that would also be great to knit the primrose sweater in honor of my grandmother as well. So there's a lot of love behind this pattern and this project, and so you bought us each a kit, which I feel very fortunate and excited about. And the kits came a little while ago, and we're each doing the primrose.
I should show my bag here.
Oh yeah, so we each got a bag. that came with all the sweet
All the
little skeins.
They're 25-gram balls, and they really do smell sheepy.
There's, I think, 12 colors. So I'll take some pictures and insert of them a little bit more organized. It's hard to show them all on camera, but they are really cute. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I'm showing some of mine.
14 different colors.
14, okay. So, and I have mine, it's a different colorway.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the pattern, and mine is the original Primrose, and yours is the Primrose Eau de Nil, which is the same pattern, and most of the same colors, but just a little bit more of the teal and turquoise. So they are very similar, almost same exact yarn, same pattern, but just a slightly different color scheme throughout on that one. So also I have to say these are A4 paper, and I love A4 paper. It's like such a wonderful size. So
it's a bit bigger than the American.
it's narrower and
equivalent.
taller. It's narrower
Is that
and
what
taller.
it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so this is gonna be a labor of love.
It is.
So let's see, I've shifted everything around. So I'm starting with the sleeve, partly because I didn't have long enough size 2 needles to cast on for the body. And I did since get some at Driftwood Yarns to go so that I can do that. But so here's where I am with my first sleeve. So there's use every color to do the cuff in a 1x1 rib, and then you start the color work. So you can see some of the patterns starting to form here. It's not great late night knitting, but it's fun. And a couple things I want to call out. So I am actually starting the other cuff as well. It's so little because I just want to like get through that cuff since it was a little tricky because you're only doing 2 rows of a color and then switching. So there's a lot of ends and it's so small. I maybe should have done these on DPNs. These are on the little tiny size 2 that are the little shorties.
Oh yeah.
And it's a little difficult and fiddly to try and make sure that your join is tight. So I wanted to do this cuff quickly after doing this one, so I kind of kept the same technique. And my join isn't like totally perfect, but it's okay. And another thing, so the pattern for the size small and medium, for the sleeve chart, it says to start at row 7, but I was a little confused and I ended up starting on row 1. And now I've gotten this far and I'm realizing after looking at a bunch of photos that I probably don't want to include those 7 rows because that's going to be an extra inch. And looking at people's photos, the sleeves are already a little long like this. So I don't want to end up with a sleeve like this. So I'm going to eliminate 7 rows in the sleeve before. You can see how it actually nicely lines up, but I'm going to eliminate a section that's before the body just to make up for the fact that I started with row 1 instead of row 7. I think row 1 is for the larger sizes, and I just got excited.
Well, you said to me when I said, "Are you sure you want to do that?" You said, "I want to include all the motifs. I want to knit all the motifs."
And now I have to eliminate one because I don't want this to be a sleeve that's like this.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart decision. If you really want to knit all the motifs, you can make some socks afterwards or something. I would really. There's some colorwork socks that look pretty amazing that.
Yeah, so
I would like to do.
Originally I was gonna knit one for me and my mom was gonna knit one for her, but Anna saw these kits the other day when we were looking through them, and I was deciding, oh, am I gonna knit size small? Am I gonna knit size medium? We were looking at all of the yarn together and looking at these beautiful printed patterns, and Anna was like, I want that sweater. So my mom is so kind and is going to use her kit to make Anna a sweater. So because these kits are for size small or medium, and we're both knitting the size small, there will definitely be extra yarn there. Probably not enough for a sweater, but enough to figure out what you would need to actually get a few more skeins for yourself to knit a sweater.
Yeah,
so.
And I actually like a sweater that's called the Hollyhock, I think, which has just got some color work at the top, and then it's got some either cable or lace, and it's my favorite color, purple, the body of it. So I might do that. And then, I'm happy to knit it for Anna. My other ulterior motive is that I can make the smaller size and it'll go faster.
Right, that's true.
And I'm just going to love the process, I think. I haven't started mine yet. I'm learning from Natasha.
Yeah, I guess I'm the guinea pig.
Yeah, and maybe I will use DPNs for the
I think I would recommend, she actually calls that, I would use DPNs for
instead
the
of magic loop.
Yeah,
Okay.
because these are too small for magic loop, and then it's just like,
It's
I'm
a bit
stretching
too
it.
narrow.
Yeah, so I thought about, I actually was at like, you know, maybe at the teal bit here, and I was like, oh, I should have used DPNs, but I want to have it the same as the first one, so that's why I'm struggling through this a little
that's
bit.
really
but,
smart. And you know what? When the sleeve gets wider, these 9-inch circulars will actually work pretty well.
Yeah.
And 9-inch circulars reminds me of Needles at the Ready.
Oh yeah, we love watching Needles at the Ready.
Is it Ray that?
I think it is Ray.
That
he
always
whispers into the mic.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No,
but
they're really. If you haven't checked them out, they're two men, Ray and
Kevin,
and they live in Connecticut too. And they have started dyeing yarn and selling as well. But they're fun to watch their knitting adventures too.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is going to be a long-standing whip, but I don't know if I mentioned it's bottom up, and then you join and keep going.
It's the classic way of knitting color work.
Yeah.
So that this, as Carlos says, the stitches are smiling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is my whip. Yours will be coming soon. But what else are you working on?
So I'm now working on a sweater for my mom that I have been thinking about starting for quite a while, and I'm still in the relatively early stages. She wanted a raglan sweater, and the pattern is called Not Too Much by Hinterm Stein, and I'm holding 2 yarns.
This is so soft.
I'm using this yarn that Natasha bought from the third piece.
It's gedifra soffio,
and it's a really nice squishy.
It's not actually mohair,
no,
but it does have that mohair look.
It's alpaca
and
merino
halo.
silk, virgin wool, alpaca and silk. 187 meters, so for 25 grams, so it's a bit thicker. Made in Italy, and I'm holding it double with some Lorna's lace shepherd sock yarn that I have. That's a variegated red, and it's this is a 125 gram cake, and I have another 125 gram skein. I don't think I'm going to have enough yarn, but my plan is to do the top red and then fade into a gray. I've got a nice gray of both a mohair and a fingering weight yarn to go. So I'm just at the sort of increasing. I haven't joined in the round yet for the yoke, and my mom said she just wanted a plain niche raglan sweater, and this one's just got a little bit of detail. That it's going to be down the sleeve and then down the center back.
And where on the sleeve? Is it in the middle of the sleeve?
I think it's right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a nice little detail. So I'm at the point where I'm have to concentrate at the moment, because I'm still doing the increasing, and then after that it's going to be my meditative knit, and then I think I will start the color work. So I like to have, some variety in my knitting for the times when I just am tired and need something meditative. I either work on vanilla socks or something like this, and then something where I really want to be excited and engaged. So that's just my whip, and then the other knits. Then I have a little bit of dream knitting.
I have a little bit of dream knitting that is kind of associated with my I want to say stashquisitions, because that's what Christy Glass calls her yarn when she has stash. So it's just like in my head to call them stashquisitions. So it'll kind of lean into dream knitting. So I am like you, where I'd like to have a complicated project or a more challenging one, and then mixed in with an easier, less focused knitting. Because I also have that tam hat that I'm working on. That's also color work. So I've got 2 color work projects. So on local yarn store Saturday, we went to Driftwood Yarns, and not only did we need needles for our Marie Wallin sweaters, I was on the hunt for some linen or cotton to do a summer tank or a summer tee. I'm looking at these now, they look like Christmas colors, but they're going to be two different projects. I picked up 2 skeins of this. It is Ella Ray Rustic Silk, and it's 100% silk, and I love the color variation in here. So this I'll have 800 meters of this, and I've been checking out Yamagara patterns. Her name is Bernice, but I'm just pulling up some of her pullovers and tees. She is in Singapore, so has pretty warm weather year round. So she has a lot of tees and tanks that I find extremely flattering. I haven't actually knit anything from her yet, but just a quick glimpse here. I definitely recommend checking her out. So I was looking at the Hikari, which I guess it's not super simple. There's enough detail in here to keep me interested, but not too complicated. And then the other, so that's the Hikari that I'm thinking of. The other one I liked was the Tin Roof. This one you can stripe it, or you could, you have a lot of variations. So I was like, maybe I'll do this. Maybe I haven't decided what pattern, but I'm gonna do a search, and this is gonna be a tank or a tee, but I am inspired to try out one of her patterns. The other yarn I got, and I'm not gonna mix these because this is very Christmassy, there'll be 2 different projects. I picked up 5 skeins of this El Lineo, which is 100% linen, I believe. Yeah. And it's kind of like chain.
It's chainette, yeah. I made a top out of that in blue.
Yeah, and maybe you'll wear that in a warm episode when it's really warm.
Yes.
It's still a little chilly here. So yeah, I haven't picked out an exact pattern for each of these, but I'm gonna cast on when I need a break from Marie Wayland's project.
Yes, color work, nice.
So that's my dream knitting and stash acquisitions.
Nice.
What about you? What's your dream knitting?
So my dream knitting is transitioning into summer too, and I think I'm going to check out some of those patterns because I started a swatch today, and let me grab this. So I have a sweet local knitting friend that also watches us, who reclaims yarns, and she doesn't like knitting with really dark or black yarns, so she gives me some of the reclaimed yarns sometimes.
And what do you mean by reclaimed yarn?
Oh, reclaimed yarns is if she finds sweaters in thrift stores and then she unravels them, washes the yarn, skeins it up.
Oh, wow.
So it can be re-knit. She's given me some purples, and I did that from one of my
That's a lot of work, and it's so nice that she then gifts them.
Yeah, it is an amazing amount of work.
Yeah.
I did it for one of my own.
And you have to be, sorry to interrupt you, you have to be careful with doing that because you'll have to really look at the way the sweater is constructed. Because if it's cut here, you're just going to get if it's seamed, you're just going to get tons of really short threads.
You can't do it.
Yeah, so you have to definitely have an eye for making sure that I just don't want to inspire anyone to go off and get a sweater and then try to unpick it, and it's just loads of tiny pieces. So that's something point to keep in mind if you are interested in doing the reclaiming.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Natasha. Warning, you have to be careful, inspect the construction of the sweaters.
Yeah.
So she gave me this, it's like a ribbon actually. And the reason, so I wanted to make something, excuse me a second. I got it into my head that I wanted to make something black because last year I bought myself this black linen, black and white, it's more like a cream skirt that I haven't even worn yet.
This is so cute.
And I want a plain black top to go with it.
That's a fun thing to do, is to have a garment, pants or a skirt or a dress, and then
to actually coordinate
and
with
figure out something to knit with it. Yeah.
And then it took me a while to realize, oh my gosh, I do have some black that would work. So Carol's so sweet. She saves the buttons.
Sorry if this is...
Sorry about the crinkling.
Yeah.
So, and this is, let's see what the composition is, actually. So it's 70% silk, which is, I think, why she decided to save it. It's 70% silk and 30% nylon, and it's got sort of a ribbony texture. Apologies for I keep dropping things today. And I've just started swatching, so I think it's sort of like a sport weight DK maybe. I chose size 3 needles, and I'm gonna knit a little bit more, and then once I figure out my gauge, I will then go and search some patterns. But I'd like to do something just very simple, sort of sleeves to just above my elbow, and maybe just a little bit of positive ease, and positive ease. I want it a little loose and not cropped, but just below the waist, because I wanted to sit just at the top of that skirt. Yeah, not super long.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that outfit, and
to go out into the real world.
Have wearing some black heels and actually going out somewhere.
Yeah.
Getting dressed up and going out. So yeah, so this is my reclaimed yarn. Thanks, Carol. I'm really looking forward to turning that into a nice top.
Yeah, that's exciting. That'll be really nice.
So that's all our knitting, and we're going to talk about some treasures now.
Yeah, why don't you give a little intro about that?
Okay. So last Saturday afternoon I was at home, and I saw a car drive up into our driveway, and out popped Natasha's friend's 94-year-old grandmother.
And my friend, she was a close childhood friend. We really grew up together. And so I did spend a lot of time with her grandmother, and she used to take us to New York City to see plays and everything. So I did some really fond memories of her. Yeah.
Yes. So
she's 94.
She's 94. She's tiny. She was wearing skinny jeans, fashion sneakers, and she said, I have this big container of beautiful yarn and all sorts of things that I'm never going to work on, and I really would like you and Natasha to have it. And it was a real treasure trove.
Yeah.
And it made me think of you, Arnie, and how you would have loved it, because there's some pretty cool whips in there. Before I talk about the whips though, I just want to talk about some of the things that were in there that we're excited to keep. So there were 3 sets of straight needles in there, and wrapped up in these holders, I guess. So this, and I've washed and ironed them, and I love it. I'm going to keep this one because you can see there's the numbers on there, and it's really got this vintage look. So I think I'm going to put some of my circular needles, I might demonstrate here, some of my circular needles in here, so like this, and then Natasha is gonna keep one. Yeah, I'm gonna put them in like this.
Okay, so there were actually, like you said, there were 3 needle sets. The third one, or 3 needle cases. The third one wasn't in great shape, but I thought this was so fun. It's actually kind of corduroy. And there's a little tag here that says, handmade by Merrills of Maine. And I haven't looked that up yet, but I am curious to see if that's still a business or not, because this is definitely old. And
these are probably 40 years old, would be my guess. And so you put your needles in here and you roll it up. Well, if they're straight needles, you wouldn't be rolling it up like this. You'd be rolling up like you've done yours. But
so I don't actually have a needle case, so I'm excited to organize my needles when I get back to Boston into here. So thank you for washing and cleaning it. Yeah,
so mine's going to be like this, and I have a couple of sets of interchangeables, but then I've got some fixed ones. So I think I'm going to put them in here. So I'm happy to just sort of give these another new lease of life.
Okay, so besides the needle cases, what else did we get?
So there was this embroidery yarn. Look how antique-y this all looks. And darning yarn, which I am on a mission to fix all my hand knit socks on the balls of the feet. I've been darning socks. So I am really going to use these. And look at that, it says moth proof.
Yeah, and it's made in the USA, 100% virgin wool. I love vintage labels too.
I know.
This was 10 cents. I mean, obviously there was more, but this was 10 cents. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
20 yards for 10 cents.
And then there's Bernard. So yeah, I mean, these definitely have this antique
Vintage labels.
Vintage labels. So we will definitely use these for fixing. And then there were just some other woolly wools.
Some Angora too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Angora. And then
It's gonna be a little loud.
so that will make a nice summer top, don't you think?
Yeah, this is some cotton. So yes, definitely some
Slubby.
treasures.
That looks like slubby cotton, and then
Yeah.
you have a little bit of 100% pure Angora made in France. I'm not sure what that could be incorporated into a cuff of a sweater or something like that. So that was very exciting.
It was really fun to look through all of that. And then some of the stuff we're not going to use, we're going to give to Georgie. She will be 9 in May, around Memorial Day. And she is also, maybe one day we'll have Georgie on here. But she does a lot of fun, like, fiber activities or
embroidery and things like that.
So there's some that will be
cross stitching, and there's some yarn that she can use for embroidering and doing creative things. And then there's 2 whips that really made me think of that you might like, Arnie. I don't know if Carlos would allow you to have them, but there's this rooster.
And they're both they're not knitting whips.
Yeah, they're not knitting whips. Yeah, it goes like this. So there's the rooster, and we have all the yarn to finish it, and then here is we have the
so it looks like there's a set, but here's the picture of the finished one.
And then we have the bag of
all the pieces,
all the yarn that's needed. There's even needles.
And there is the there's the color card too.
Yeah. So we were thinking that if one of you is interested in finishing this, please make a comment below and we will send it to you. But please only comment if you really would finish it, because we'd like it to go to someone that would enjoy finishing it, and we don't think that this is something that we would take on in the near future, and it seems a shame for it just to be sitting in a bag. So if you are interested,
send us a note.
Send us a note, and Arnie, if you're interested in having more of these whips, we'll send it your way. And then we have one more so if you're interested in the rooster, comment, I'll finish the rooster. And if we have a lot of interest, then we will do a random drawing. And then in the similar vein, there's this really beautiful free form embroidery, and I'm just so impressed. It would make a really gorgeous cushion cover, I think. So I have washed it. You can see that the fabric is yellowed with age, and there is a stain in the middle that maybe could be covered up, and once again we have the yarn here. There's no instructions. It looks like,
I think this was a free form by someone.
It looks like it was pencil drawn. Yeah. That might not be coming up on camera, but if one of you loves embroidery and once again would be genuinely interested in finishing this, send us a comment with saying finish the embroidery, and we will send it your way. It would make us really happy if these went to good homes where they would be appreciated.
Yes, so yeah, we're excited about that.
We're excited about that. And then do you want to talk about the little thimble that actually is going to go to her granddaughter?
It might not.
It was in a bag. It's a beautiful gloss.
So I'm going to send this to my friend because I think she would love to keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was another little treasure.
So I think that's it. So you're
one more
going to
thing.
insert... Yeah.
So we're filming this before the giveaway deadline from episode 13. But just as a quick refresher, it'll be one of Sandy's bags. this skein from a local New England dyer, Lane and Lotus. And this is in the Welcome Home colorway. It's like a nice off-white with some purple and darker speckles. And then a couple of my cards, the Don't Stop Knit It print, and then You Are Knitterly the Best card, and a Knit Happens greeting card. So I'm gonna, this is gonna go up after April 30th, so I will insert the note about who the giveaway winner is right here. Hello from the future. So we're gonna insert this video. We're excited to do our giveaway drawing. So the comments are now closed on our episode from episode 13. At Lucky episode 13. And thank you to everyone who commented and said where they would love to go traveling on their next trip. It was fun to learn where everyone wants to go. A lot of Norway comments, a lot of Scandinavia comments, some people wanting to go get some warmth. We wish you could go with all of you on all of those trips, but hopefully you will be able to travel or do a vicariously travel experience soon. So Mom, you're gonna do the random selection, right?
Yeah, I just also want to say thank you so much. I've loved reading all your comments and traveling vicariously with you. And I was particularly touched by one comment where a lady noticed that most people first wanted to meet up with family and friends, and she didn't know whether to laugh or cry. And that really resonated with me. I'm lucky enough to have booked a flight to go and visit my own mom in June, and that's going to be my first trip, and I am just super thrilled about that. So yes, so we're thrilled to do our random number generator, and I'm using a website that links up the episode and filters out duplicate comments and our replies.
I'm so impressed that you're setting this up and doing the technology for the random generator, Mom. Thanks.
Yeah, I know. Well, it wasn't completely seamless behind the scenes, but here we go. We have 304 unique comments, and I am going to pick the winner, and it's scrolling through all the comments, and here we are. The winner is Jean Hammerston with 2 M's, and her comment is, after listening to your tale of your cruise, that is where I would like to travel.
Oh, fun.
And Jean, send us an email, please, and let us know, and we will be happy to ship the prize out to you wherever you are in the world.
Cool. All right. Well, now it's gonna wrap up our episode 14 for you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, so congratulations. Send us an email or to knit, I'll put it down below, knitinc2019@gmail.com. And so send us an email there.
Send us a note, and we will send out the prize to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your likes. It really brings us so much joy and positive energy. We really appreciate it, and we're having so much fun sharing our knitting hobby with you.
Yeah.
So be safe, enjoy your hobbies, take care. Until next time.
Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.
Bye.